So my name is Scott Belsky, and I run Behance, along with a great group of colleagues trying to help organize and empower the creative world. So we're trying to build the largest online platform for creatives to get to showcase and discover creative work, and really help people take the reins on their careers in the new and next era of the creative industry. Along the way, over the past 6 years, we've also become very passionate about helping creative people and teams be more productive. We feel like we serve a community of people that are, have more ideas than they know what to do with, but struggle sometimes to push those ideas to fruition. And so one of the things we're also trying to do as a company is help more creative people and teams make their ideas see the light of day. And that's really been a real kind of passion project for myself and some of my colleagues over the years, traveling the world and trying to figure out what some of the most productive creative people and teams in the world do and what we can learn from them. So that's also what led to my book, Making Ideas Happen, which is all about that topic and really all about what you should do after the point of the idea itself. And whereas a lot of folks are focused on helping people be more creative, I'm very much focused on almost the opposite. And how do you help creative people and teams execute? What's interesting to me is that creativity carries with it in some ways a burden. There's having a half-written manuscript tucked away in a drawer for years and years and years is not fulfilling. It is creative because you actually are creating and generating something, but it's not fulfilling. And I think that happiness, while in the near term comes from doing creative stuff, in the long term comes from completing creative stuff. So what I've been interested in is seeing that feeling of fulfillment amongst people who go through the war that it takes to push an idea to see the light of day, and oftentimes need to in some ways compromise a part of their natural tendencies to create. They sometimes have to really focus and refine, kill their darlings, so to speak, and challenge themselves. So it's one of those realizations that happiness is really the result of much very hard work. I think happiness to me means making an impact in what matters most to me. And I would say that for a lot of the people I know too. They are most happy when they feel like they're making an impact in what matters most to them. And this is not just in a professional sense, but it's also in a personal sense too. Being present with your family, if that's something that really makes you happy, because you feel like you're really making an impact with those moments and your memories of your family and your family's time and shared with you. But of course, in the professional context, making an impact in what matters most to us in the world is much more so than just one success in business or a paycheck. It's about I think that's directly correlated with making ideas happen. Because oftentimes the impact we wish to make in our world are stem from the ideas that we have. When I'm working with my own ideas, I out of the three categories of insights to really make ideas forward, the first is in the organization execution, the second being the communal forces, leveraging your community to gain traction around ideas, and the third being how you lead creative projects and keep teams together. Out of the three, I'd say that the area that I personally really struggle with sometimes is on the community side, and really making sure that I share ideas liberally and quickly, that I am finding the right people to refine them, and complementing my own tendencies at any given moment with those that have opposite tendencies as I do. I think that that's something that I totally intellectually understand, but then practically speaking sometimes, it's difficult. And what I try to do is really overcompensate. Part of that is also that naturally I think I'm an introvert, and I get my energy from being alone. Whereas those who really thrive on community and leveraging communal forces to make ideas happen tend to really get their energy from being with others. It's sort of like a natural tendency for them. Whereas for me, it's a little bit less of a natural one, but nevertheless one that I take very seriously. What is my happiness playlist? Well, I just love like acoustic jam type stuff. I love it when artists just kind of let go and you can feel it and hear it in their voice and just in like the strokes of the music itself. Those to me are like those moments where people are being like most true, and just the barrier between them and their craft is just indistinguishable. To me, those are just magic moments. There are all sorts of, whether it's Bob Dylan or and all other sorts of so many artists who like get into a groove with that, and you can feel it. There's also some music that I save only for when I'm really like creating something, like writing. For example, there's this great piano soloist named Carly Commando, based in Brooklyn, who incredible piano melody. I preserve that for when I'm writing, and then I don't try to listen to it too much, or else it won't have its power on me. I have a whole playlist of stuff like that too. So I think it's amazing, like the energy that comes from other people's creative output. I think one of the things that I've learned over the past 5 or 6 years, especially building a team of people who all do things better than I do, in everyone's specific role, is just how much credit needs to be shared, and just how much of a team effort it is to do anything, and that the myth of the lone creative genius is just that. Great feats are not accomplished solo. I just don't think they are. And when we think they are, we're being tricked. And one of the things that I've always tried to do with my team and my co-founder, and with what he and I have tried to do with our entire team, is make it very clear that every part of our business is owned by different people, and it's really a product of their vision and their efforts. And listen, we would never be able to have a technology company and to have published books and to have run conferences and to build products that creatives use to stay organized. None of this stuff would ever be possible without all of these people. And that's, it's been like just this great grounding realization. Whereas maybe 6 years ago, thinking of starting a company that's doing all this stuff, you kind of think, oh, I can do this. Well, you can't. I feel I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way over the years with Behance. And I've also learned a lot about myself and what I love doing in businesses, which is I love focusing on product. I love thinking about how a product evolves and the user experience. And I just get, that is where so much of my energy comes from. And whenever I have conversations with friends who are starting businesses as well and really thinking about product, that's really where my brain gets jogged. And so over the years, what I've tried to do is also focus on working with other founders, building product that I think I have something to learn from and apply back to Behance. And so I would say that actually when, as an investor or an advisor in other companies, to me it's like a very, it's a two-way street. I'm always looking for something that I want to learn a lot about, and because I know then I'll have a natural engagement level that will help them. And when I'm not so interested in learning, or I feel like I just have something to share but not learn, I'm not going to be a good advisor. So it's really making sure that that mutual relationship is there. And it's been a great opportunity to help other products thrive and kind of go through some of the early days again with other people. And there isn't a situation yet where I haven't really learned something that has made a difference for me and certainly for my team and our own business.